I'm having iced latte today because it's too hot out there. Alright, I am finally doing it. Talking about the OPPO Find X8. See, this phone launched back in November 2024 and kind of flew under the radar. Even I covered it, but only on Instagram Reels. I thought that this phone doesn't have enough interest to cover it in a full long-form YouTube review. But it turns out I was wrong. In a lot of my videos, people have been asking about this phone. When are you going to cover the OPPO Find X8? Compare the OPPO Find X8 to this phone, to that phone, etc. Well, I'm finally here talking about this phone. See, I'm not going to bore you with specifications and numbers. You'll find that everywhere on the internet. That's not my style. My style is talking about the real world experience and the real world usage of this phone. I've used this phone for a bit. How was my experience? That you will get to know in this video. So if you like that kind of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I want to start by talking about in-hand feel. OPPO Find X8 is ever so slightly smaller and comfortable as compared to the Ultras and Pro Maxes of the world. It has a 6.59 inches display as compared to a 6.8 inch or even a 6.9 inch out there. So not the biggest out there, but not the smallest either. It's right in the middle. But it does feel comfortable to use. Rounded corners, flat display, and not that heavy. That flat display is my favorite. I am really glad that OPPO did not go with a quad curved display because that is not my preference. I definitely prefer such flat displays because they look awesome and they feel awesome. And this display itself is super high quality. First up, it gets very bright, so outdoor visibility is not a problem. And it is a very smooth display. 120Hz refresh rate, which works really well. I have not noticed any stutters whatsoever, and the entire experience of using the display is amazing. Also, watching content is great. Things like Instagram Reels, YouTube videos, Netflix shows, you name it. And OPPO has done a good job in terms of the bezels as well. Symmetrical bezels which are slim. Now the display also houses an in-display fingerprint sensor. It's an optical one but very fast and accurate. I've had no complaints with it whatsoever. Now we'll come back to the design for a bit. I like the fact that camera module doesn't stick out too much. It's a very slim camera bump. If you come to buttons, they are clicky and tactile, and there is an alert slider as well. This is a very handy feature, one that OnePlus phones also have, and I really appreciate this feature. Basically, you don't even have to unlock your smartphone to change the sound mode. You can put it on ring, vibrate, or sound, whatever you want, just by moving this button. Very useful feature, and I absolutely love this color. So much so that I've been using this smartphone without a case because I don't want to hide that color. See, what I'm trying to say is that design and in-hand feel are very good with the OPPO Find X8. As far as durability goes, it has support for IP68 as well as IP69. Enough about design and build. Let's move on to something more interesting, and that is the cameras. So essentially, there are three cameras on the rear side: 50 megapixel primary, 50 megapixel ultra wide, and a 50 megapixel telephoto. Great photos across the board. High quality with impressive dynamic range. Shadows and highlights are exposed in the proper way for like 95% of the photos. And the color science over here is also good. Somehow this color science is better as compared to a OnePlus 13. In terms of zoom, there is a 3x optical camera which clicks amazing photos, and it can go all the way up to 120x. But with that being said, you can click high quality zoom photos only up to say about 20 or 25x. Beyond that, the photos start to lose details because this smartphone does not have a periscope camera. So zoom range is there, but usable zoom is only up to say 25x. But up to 20-25x, I was able to click some amazing shots with the OPPO Find X8. Detailed, high quality and usable photos. What about portrait mode? Well, portrait mode is one of the best out there with this smartphone. I can just look at the portraits from this phone and you will get to know what I'm talking about. I like the portrait mode on the Find X8. Most users out there will be happy with this setup. Main, ultra wide and telephoto. One gets all the perspectives and can click good photos at those perspectives. Now this is a very quick video sample with the OPPO Find X8. Currently I'm shooting with the main camera in 4K at 30 FPS, and there is a road right here, so you'll get to know about the microphone quality as well. I think the video looks good. Now let's switch to the ultra wide angle camera, shall we? And this is how the ultra wide angle camera looks, again shooting in 4K 30 FPS. The maximum that this smartphone can go up to is 4K 60, which I think is a good enough range, but 4K 120 or 8K 30 should have been there because other smartphones in this price range do have maybe like an 8K 30. So yeah, that should have been there. And this is a very quick front camera video test. Again, I'm shooting in 4K at 30 FPS. The front camera can also do up to 4K 60, so that is good. Now you guys let me know about the front camera video quality as well as the front camera microphone quality in the comment section down below. Is it good? Is it bad? Whatever it is, let me know in the comments down below. What about selfie photos? Well, here are a few samples and you can be a judge yourself. I like the selfies from this camera. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below. So essentially what I'm trying to say is that the cameras on Find X8 are really good, especially for the price of this phone. Now we've covered design, build and camera. What about performance? Performance for normal stuff is great. Things like Instagram, WhatsApp, UPI payments, Netflix shows, or maybe doing some light gaming here and there. And it is also good for heavy gaming. But it has a MediaTek Dimensity 9400 chipset chipset which does not support all the games out there. I've said this in my Vivo X200 Pro video as well, that the processor does not support all games. So if you're a gamer out there, make sure to watch a dedicated gaming review about this smartphone and then make your decision. Now coming back to the Find X8, the performance is very smooth. No lags whatsoever. In fact, it is a bit too smooth, and I know the reason for that. It's software optimization. Find X8 comes with ColorOS 15 out of the box, which is great in terms of software optimization and also the animation. And I've seen the same thing with OnePlus 13 and Oxygen OS. Oxygen OS and ColorOS are like the same operating systems, and they do work really well. Like this version of ColorOS is highly customizable with modern widgets, and the animations are incredible. But there are some pre-installed apps in the OPPO Find X8, not like bloatware, but there are some pre-installed apps that can be uninstalled. I honestly think they shouldn't have been there because this smartphone costs 70,000 rupees, and at this price point, I don't expect pre-installed applications. See, performance is smooth and fast, and the software optimization is great. That is the bottom line. But what about battery life? Find X8 has a 5600 mAh battery, and honestly, the battery life is amazing. Say I start the day at about 10 AM with 100% battery. Towards the end of the day at about 9 PM, 10 PM, I will still have 30% battery left. And my usage revolves around clicking a lot of photos and videos, watching reels for a couple of hours, WhatsApp, UPI payments, maybe editing some photos on the phone, and that's about it. But very good battery life, to be honest. And the cherry on the cake is 80-watt fast charging. Super fast and reliable, and the charger is provided inside the box itself. That is a thing to appreciate in 2025. It also has 50-watt wireless charging. I personally don't use wireless charging, but if you do, then that option is available. Now I'm going to do a rapid fire of all the small things that are remaining. Find X8 has an IR blaster, which means that you can use this smartphone as a remote control for TVs, ACs, and appliances which use an IR remote. The speakers on this phone are loud and clear, and there are a lot of AI features baked into ColorOS if you want to use them. Now let's get back to the original point of this video, and before that, the price of this smartphone. OPPO Find X8 starts at 70,000 rupees, basically exactly the same price as OnePlus 13. And I honestly feel that this smartphone is underrated and kind of flew under the radar. If you are considering buying a 70,000 rupees Android flagship phone, then you should consider the OPPO Find X8 as well, because this is a complete package. Display, camera, battery, performance, in-hand feel, build quality, everything is very good with the OPPO Find X8. Like as a package, the Find X8 is a great one. If you want to buy it, I will make sure to drop a link to it in the description box below. Anyway, that's been it. This was my review of the OPPO Find X8. Do let me know what do you feel about this in the comment section down below. If you like the style of my videos, then make sure to hit that subscribe button, because that would mean the world to me. My name is Harsh Punjabi, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video. Bye bye.